Cubing has come very far. It has gone from being a curiosity to a serious hobby or even a profession. But will it ever become a mainstream sport like tennis, baseball, or basketball? Before asking whether it will become a mainstream sport, we must first ask whether it is a sport in the first place. There are many videos about whether cubing is a sport, so I'm going to give my opinion on the matter very quickly. Google defines the word sport as the following: an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. Now see that this definition includes physical exertion, and cubing obviously does not include any physical exertion unless you consider finger tricks, that is moving your fingers. However, chess, which also does not include physical exertion, is actually recognized as a sport by 24 out of 28 European nations, and it is also recognized as a sport by the International Olympic Committee. Chess is very similar to cubing in that it requires the use of the brain and little to no physical exertion. So, if chess is widely recognized as a sport, cubing should be too. I think for cubing to become a mainstream sport, there need to be a lot of people in the world who are cubers or who can at least solve the Rubik's Cube. This will allow more people to relate to the activity of cubing. For example, even if you are good at it or not, you can relate to a game of basketball and enjoy it. In the same way, cubing has to be an activity that is enjoyed by a large number of people. This is because when somebody enjoys cubing, they are more likely to get other non-cubers into cubing, and then those other non-cubers can do the same thing, leading to a chain reaction that will greatly increase the size of the cubing community. One thing we can do is see the number of people who have a WCA account. Currently, there are about 100,000 such people. FIDE or FIDE, the WCA-like organization for chess, has around 400,000 active players according to chess.com, which in itself has about 1 million active players. Observe that it has blown up in the last few years. I used the line of best fit to calculate how much time it will take for the speed cubing community to reach, say, 700,000 members, the average of the FIDE and chess.com numbers. Using this, I calculated that it would take about 10 years more to reach that number. However, this is not even close to the number of people who can cube. Remember, not everybody who can solve the cube is registered on the WCA. So, there have been about 350 million Rubik's Cubes sold up till now. I think it is safe to assume that on average, every cube owner has owned a total of 2 cubes in their lifetime. So, we can say that these 350 million cubes correspond to 175 million cube owners. Now, I will make a conservative estimate that out of these 175 million, just 1% can actually solve the cube. That still leaves us with exactly 1.75 million. If one of these cubers saw a TV documentary about speed cubing, they might think, I can do this too, and these competitions look fun. Maybe I should go too. And if many people like this were to see such a documentary, the cubing community could grow much, much bigger. Which brings me to my next point. I think cubing needs some media attention, and there should not be some instance of Rubik's Cube solving abilities making somebody a genius. Something like 2-year-old solves Rubik's Cube in only 3 seconds would not be helpful to make cubing more popular. Something like a legitimate documentary about speed cubing would actually inspire more people to get into cubing. For example, Mike Boyd, a YouTuber who makes videos documenting his experience learning different skills, made a video about solving the Rubik's Cube, which showed that cubing is both fun and easy and can be learned pretty quickly. The Rubik's Cube is a famous item, and so provided with a catalyst in pop culture, the cubing community would get much, much larger. But cubing also has to have some spectator appeal. This would allow even non-cubers to enjoy cubing and possibly get into it. Something like the Rubik's Cube Nations Cup held at the 2017 Rubik's Cube World Championships being shown on TV on a TV sports channel would be able to appeal to a large number of non-cubers. As and more people start cubing, they can introduce cubing in their workplaces or mainly schools, as most cubers are pretty young and the cubing community can grow exponentially. So, whatever the obstacles to cubing, in 10 years or less, the cubing community will reach a size such that cubing will be able to be called a mainstream hobby at least, or a pretty famous hobby, or perhaps even sport. Although it will probably not be the next thing added to the Olympics. So thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Share your opinion on whether cubing will become a mainstream sport or not in the comment section below.